Well, here we are, 28th day of April. We'll get a third leg on that tripod with some Gorilla Tape and a old fishing pole. I guess country boy can survive. Zip tie came in handy there. Didn't have to use my Gorilla Tape. We got our soil test back, and the pH is right at 5.8, so we want to raise it up to 6.5, which is 7/10, and it requires at least 80 pounds per tenth. So 7 times 80 is 560 pounds of lime, of pell lime that we're going to put on there to bring it up to that. Now if we was putting ag lime on, we'd have to put considerable more, just the nature of the lime. The limes are the same, it's just for some reason they got the ag lime a little higher than the pelletized lime. Anyhow, your organic matter was really high. You can see on that black line. Your zinc, phosphorus, your phosphorus is a little low, and your potassium is optimal. And then we'll come back in there, and that's good because that means the nutrients were being absorbed into the full forage. Now, you're going to have to lime. If you got clover, you can lime right over the top of it. You don't have to tear it up. But as this states on this bottom line, when you add your lime, they want you to plow it in 6 inches deep. The lime is not a fertilizer. It's an amendment. And what that will do is help the fertilizers get absorbed into your root system that much faster. All land becomes acidic in time, and that's what happened in the past when the frontiersmen and they would farm ground. Eventually their yield would go down because they didn't know that their ground was turning acidic. It does that through the atmosphere, and over time all land will go back that way. So it's important to keep it up, and we're going to plant corn in here. So we've got our lime, and hopefully we can get it on. Now that lime cost almost, with that pelletized lime, I had close to $600 in it. Yeah, I know that sounds like a lot. I could have got it for less than that, but the co-op spreader was broke, and I want to get it done now because it's dry. And if it turns into a wet May like last year, then you're going to be up that creek without a paddle, or you're going to have a two-legged tripod without a zip tie and a fishing pole. Anyway, you got to make do, make hay when the sun shines, and so we're going to get that lime on. I lost a couple bags. The bundle that it was in broke, and County Road got some free lime on it. That's some days, if anything can go wrong, it will, and we don't have the lime on yet. So I'm crossing my fingers that Cosmo spreader will get this done tonight. So let's get on with it. There's the receipt for 100 bags of pell lime, was $489. There's the other receipt, $83.13 for 17 more bags. So, and we lost a few of them. With those invoices, I want to emphasize, there's no such thing as a poor man's food plot. It's a half-assed man or a cheap man, but no poor man. You either got the money to do it right, or you're just pissing in the wind. And if you're pissing in the wind today, you're going to get real wet. So let's get on with what we're here to do. Yeah, I don't know what's with this wind today, but it's 35 miles an hour. But I want to get this on, so I want to plow it in there tomorrow morning. And it's right at 5 o'clock. So you definitely want to wear a respirator and goggles because the dust is going to fly. This would not be a day to be spraying herbicides. That's for damn sure. You'd be drifting clear to Missouri. Let's get on the tractor and I'll take you around. We'll finish putting the rest of this 63 bags there. We'll finish that tomorrow. It's just too windy out here. Let's go for a ride. Here we go. It's awful windy. We'll turn on the belt. Take off. Let's go. We found an antler right there. I threw my glove on it. There's a little guy, but we still found him. First human hand, April 28th. Yeah, I thought them farm gloves come in handy with the red and the yellow. But I could find that little guy. Well, we'll finish it up tomorrow morning. Well, we're back there on the 29th of April. I thought the wind was going away, but it didn't. It's just as windy this morning as it was last night. Now let's get putting it on. Here's why you want to keep that lime dry. That's what happens to it if it gets wet. It won't go. It won't go through the spreader. Make sure you keep that lime dry. That came that way from the provider. Although somewhere along the line it got wet. Recommended on a new field that you plow that lime in 6 inches deep, and we'll do that later. But if you have an established perennial like alfalfa or a clover, you don't have to plow it in. You can put it on and you take it down. It's already growing, so you don't have to tear up your perennial crop, but you can spread it on top and it will reach down in. We're going to plow this under now, and keep in mind that's what the laboratory test said. When you put the lime on, you have to incorporate it, plow it in at least 6 inches deep. Now if you had a field cultivator, you could do the same thing. It'd probably get it down there, but we got a 3-point Dearborn plow, and we're going to plow it under. And if I wasn't putting lime on it this year, I would probably just run the field cultivator on it and disc it up and go with that. But being we are putting the lime on, I want to get the lime down into the soil and get it mixed in there. And so that's why we're plowing. And last year we had so much rain on these fields that they really got compacted tight. And even with we didn't have that much freeze and thaw this year, you know, or frost. So a lot of farmers down in this area are doing tillage. Even though they could do no-till, they're still loosening the soil up because it really got hammered last year with all that rain. So let's get the tractor running and get the plowing. Yeah, you gotta, when you start your plowing, you gotta get your plow set so that the back plow is plowing the same depth as the front plow. I'll come up and I'll show you. As you see here, when I started, the back plow wasn't plowing grease. I thought it was a bug. See, it was just barely getting down in there. The front plow was plowing heavy. And as I got up here, I had to keep adjusting it. And finally I got it. I'll show you. See, it was still real light right here. And you got 3 mow boards or 3 plows. And right in here, I was adjusting it. And I got it clear out of the ground there. And you can see how deep that front plow was plowing. But now I finally got it. You know, when you hook it up, you've got to get it to where all the plows are plowing level. And here's what I mean. Now you can see we're 6 inches deep right there, all the way up through there. We're plowing equal. But that takes, you know, got to get it adjusted a little bit. You just can't, you know, you got to have, like I said, that back plow's got to be plowing as deep as the front plow. So it's turning over real good. It can't make a mud ball with it, so that's good. That'll till up good. So we'll get this field plowed under, but you gotta set your plow, the angle on it when you take off, so that all the mow boards are plowing the same depth. Well, he wanted 6 inches, and like I said, that was our 6-inch depth that was required right there to cover the lime and incorporate it. Yeah, you notice this was soybeans. Now we haven't disted this or mowed it or anything. This was extensively grazed off by the deer. They consumed the beans, the pods, you name it, it was gone. Now for some of you who have never plowed, I want to explain something as we walk up here. What we call this area here, we laid out a land. And we want to divide this field up so we don't have a dead furrow in the middle of it. So we'll just throw it left and right. But here's something really important that you gotta, when you're plowing, you want to put your front tire in the furrow. There's the furrow. This is what I'm calling the furrow. Now there's your front tire. Now that front tire and rear tire right in there, that's how you want to plow. And like I say, some of you may already know it, but for the beginner that's just got his first tractor, first time plowing, this is how you plow. Now we'll go down here a little bit with the tractor. Now watch the front tire stays in that furrow. So right down there, right down the right side of it. There's the furrow under that. Real good. This is what we call a two-bottom plow, made by Dearborn in the United States of America. And it's older than most of you do. But it still does the job. Okay, that's just the plow. Now you see where we're taking the mud off, or the earth. It's pretty dry, I wouldn't call it mud. But it's not going to scour with that on there. And we want it to look like this. Now if you plowed extensively with that, which we don't, those would be as shiny as a new nickel. So, but you want to keep that cleaned off because that's the only way it's going to scour. Well, 4:01. I don't know if you can see that. We started plowing right at 11. And so we got a plow turned under and the wind's still blowing. All turned under. But like I said, it turned up fairly dry, which was good. Didn't have much, you know, the moisture was just right in it. Yeah, there was one thing I want to address. This is the in-row, and it had some moisture in it, And this is where I planted the conceal at. And the residue from the conceal held the moisture, plus the snow drifted right here because the wind blowing right in our face now. So when it hit the conceal, the snow was as high as this fence post over here because it just made a natural windrow. So right along here did have, you can see how that slabbed over, but that's something, you know, is going to happen because of the moisture content and the residue that the conceal has after the fact. So it held moisture because there was plenty of moisture right here. Now as you get out in the middle of the field where the snow blew off, you didn't have that problem. Like I said, you can see where the conceal was planted, and we just plowed this, and it'll make a dirt ball. But that's a nice thing about ground cover, it did hold moisture. Now as you get out here, you can see you don't have that slabbing per se. It breaks up because the snow would blow off in the open field. And so it, you can't, we can pick some of this dirt up here. Yeah, you're not going to make no mud ball out of that. But wherever you had good ground cover, and like I said, that acted as a snow fence. But it's all plowed. We'll let it dry. Run the disc over it, get the fertilizer on it, and get it planted by this weekend. Most of this is going to be corn, so we're going to go with a good percentage of corn on this field. Yeah, well, that's it for the plowing. Now remember, I might not have plowed this had I not put the lime on it. But the laboratory said when you put that lime on the new tillage, you need to plow it in 6 inches deep. And also remember, lime is an amendment. It's not a fertilizer. So, but you could put too much on it. But boy, if you had to, very seldom is that going to happen if you have a soil test. But it's not like fertilizer. Two different things. Fertilizer. Lime is a soil amendment to try to raise the pH and lower the acidity in the soil. So that's why we had to plow this in, to get the lime down in the dirt where it's going to work at. Well, that's it from the plowing.